So, for whatever reason, recently I had a merchant who the majority of their menu when I made it did not show up. And originally I thought, like, oh, I must have just not done the visibility right, or it didn't save right, or whatever. That was not the case. So I had to completely rebuild a lot of the menu for Favor specifically. So I have not quite figured out what specifically didn't work about it. I had to change up quite a few different things. So this is their regular menu that they see on their POS system. Even the simplest thing like a latte would not show up. They have size specific prices. I found that if I just change it to base price, and set up the first one was as the marked up price like 480, then it showed up. But there was also other things I had to do. Like specifically their flavor list was super long. I noticed that when I changed it into two list. So all their regular flavors and all their sugar-free flavors as two different modifiers. That seemed to help get it on there. Um, there's all kinds of things I had to do to get it to show up. Some things seemed more complicated than others. But I'll show you what the one that I made looks like now. Go back to coffee and drinks. You've got coffee. I also kind of organized it a little bit better and I deleted a lot of items that don't need to be on there because of delivery. So when you go to the online latte and you scroll down, um, you'll see that you have hot and iced. Also, frappe is an option, but you'll see that instead of size pricing, I have base price. There are some items that I was able to do size pricing and it show up. I like I said, I don't know why it wasn't working. I just had to play around with it a lot to get it to work. So we have base price, and then when you go into choose size, I had to make this to where it just adds on the extra amount that it needs to be to make it the regular price of a medium and the regular price of a large. You want to make sure that when you do the base price, that you don't set it up as each of these being the normal price, because then it will add whatever amount you put onto the base price. You don't want a small latte to be over $8. You still want it to be that $4 something price. So you'll just add whatever amount it needs to add on. And then let's see, let me go back to the latte. So we've got our size pricing. You've got milk alternatives where there's certain items that they can change, have an extra price. And then, certain ones don't. And then, let's see. You've got choose flavors. I just did all of the regular flavors and I deleted a few that were repetitive. And then you have your sugar-free flavors. For whatever reason, splitting it up like this helped. I also know that she had sequin price set up for this before, and I do think that was playing a role. So I think on her regular POS system, she still has sequin price, but I just changed it on here just to be every time they select one, it's 70 cents. That can add up, but if it kind of keeps people from making like a ridiculous coffee that doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't be picking six different flavors. You should be picking a couple that make sense together. Um, anyway, so I'm sure we can all agree on that, but that doesn't really matter. But I do think that having sequence price was messing it up. You can add sauces. Those are all just, 50 cents. You can add sweetener. Those are all free. You can choose if you want to add an extra shot of espresso. You can choose if you want decaf or half calf. There's all of these different options that I kind of had to rework to get these coffees to show up. And I had to kind of just build it one thing at a time to see which modifiers would allow it to still show up and which ones, if I added it, would make it disappear from favor. Obviously, this is an experiment you can only do once you're already integrated with favor. And it's not something you're probably going to find out you need to do until after the fact. But I will tell you, I know for sure that having timed items where it's priced a certain way, like let's say happy hour pricing and regular pricing, it's just not going to show up. I recommend, even if this merchant doesn't have a deep copy menu, if they want to have those items on favor, to then deep copy those specific items, hide it from their POS system, and get rid of the timed pricing. With it being delivery, they can just pay one regular price no matter what time of day they're ordering it. Because happy hour prices are really genuinely created to get people into the restaurant during slower times. So that is what I would recommend if you're having issues with things showing up. If you ever have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to me.